Andrew S. here, and today I'm doing something a little special. Now, a handful of years ago, I met this dude at an Insomnium show where he was doing the live bass and vocals when Insomnium came up to Canada, and we were talking, and he told me about his project Shadow Projector, which I really enjoy this EP. But we kept in touch over the years, and he told me about his old band, this old project that was coming back to life from Artisan. And this album here has just come out in 2022 called The Stain of Life. I'll show you guys the back here in a second. Show you Mike and the other two dudes. We got Mike Bear, we got Ed Lang on guitar, awesome guitar work that he does on this album, and then Justin, I want to say Boucher because I'm Canadian, and you know that's the way we say it, but it could be Bucci, so I apologize, Justin. It could be either. Hopefully I got one of them right. But anyways, this is a fantastic album. Let's dive into Vindication Mind. This is such a wave of dynamic musicianship, free-flowing shifts, varying energies, beefy guitar work, as well as technical pieces, crafty, abrupt transitions from the verse to the chorus, which I felt the vocal melody in the chorus really made that transition work from the verse into the chorus. And the lyrics were also resonating very, very well and fit seamlessly. Awesome opening track. We got some great solo work right off the bat. An awesome interlude piece in here in Vindication Mind as well. So you're going to get a nice thrashy, aggressive, moment right off the bat to really pull in the listener. I actually feel like it has a lot of dynamics right off the bat, sort of like this artwork as well. So the artwork transitions into the music, and the music transitions into the artwork. And then we go into Contradictions. This is a full-on assault, thick track, crushing riffs that go hand in hand with thunderous and lightning fast drum work. I thought each piece of drum work got its own attention. The snare and the cymbals really went with the verse. Then we got some grinding double bass and tom work for the chorus. I really liked that, how there was specific things just for the verse and specific drum work just for the chorus. Really helps each of them stand out and really gives the drums in those sort of areas their own identity, and you're not overusing them. Absolutely killer work from Justin. He does an awesome job on this entire album. Actually reminds me of what I like to try to do, really expand, really do different things, not just throughout one song but throughout the entire album. So awesome job on Contradictions. Then we move into Invisible Empire. It's very assaulting too, but I felt the key of this song lay in the guitar work, not just the speed and the technical bits, but this exquisite melody that really popped, really stood out, had a nice hook, really went with the rhythm. It was just absolutely awesome, really addictive, and it also had a bit of a tone to it, a different atmosphere from the rest of the guitar work on the album at times. I really felt like this melody stood out. And speaking of melody, I felt like the one in Invisible Empire actually sort of made a transition and a segue into this next track, The Sickness, really work, because it's wonderfully hooky, very addictive vocal and guitar melodies, and the drums create this strong sort of groovy pace as well. So there's sort of a bit of a contrast right there, and then the lyrics really stand out as well. I thought Mike Berry using his aggression and disgust vocally went hand in hand with the message behind these lyrics, which I also love. Sometimes a singer will just sing the same way all the way through and not really work with the lyrics, but like when the message is angry and disgusting, and the vocals do that, it really emphasizes and pushes those lyrics, and it really goes well with the vocals as well. Sort of an Aaron Stainthorpe would really do that, whether it was depressive lyrics or disgusting lyrics, his vocal, what he would do, really emphasize that. And I think Mike Bair really does that well in The Sickness. And speaking of Mike Bair's vocal work, the song Useless, he really showcases some great vocal chops, really pushed his range here. Really like his clean range on this track, really comes forward, a lot of dynamic there. I like his balance of clean and harsh throughout this album, really does a great job on that. But I just wanted to mention that he has this great pushed range on Useless. But there's also some great guitar riffs as well, but they might seem straightforward. Well, I felt the timings and the shifts back and forth, united with what the drum work did, really elevated that sort of, not simplistic riff, but straightforward riffs, and really made for a complex pairing actually. And I felt there was some awesome rhythm work here, and really gave a nice backdrop to the really good soul sort of complementing each other. So it's one of those times where, you know, everything sort of needed each other to complement one another. Sometimes they work well, they're free flowing on their own, but sometimes a rhythm in the background or the bass in the background really pushes something, or a simple drum beat does this. But I felt like Useless is sort of, you know, they needed each other. They were useless on their own, maybe. Maybe that was the metaphor behind it. I don't know. Then we jump on to the title track, The Stain of Life. Quite a journey into depth here. We got techniques, timings, transitions, and they're nice and alluring and creative, along with some many varying atmospheres. The placid interlude gave us this new fresh emotion that we hadn't heard on this album yet, with the vocals and the bass that bring to life this sort of pain and anguish. Then it transitions into this awesome rise in energy, but also at the same time has this somber atmosphere. I felt that sorrow continue into the outro. The melodies and the atmospheres are just very hypnotic and attractive to this song. Lots of depth on this one. I really felt like this is a fantastic track. So much to soak up on this one, The Stain of Life. Then I want to jump to We All Bleed. This is an intriguing track as we flow from the most fierce drums and intensity on the album to a psychedelic interlude driven by some nice technical bass, some of my favorite bass on this album. And this section makes for a great ascension for the outro and segues into the most desperate and lost tone on the album, Goodbye. This is a fantastic blend of hypnosis and some deep-seated rage and despair and melodic beauty, all captured in one, with shining varying compositions within every instrument. Awesome mix of harsh and clean vocals to complement the musical intensities and tranquilities. They absolutely do a killer job on Goodbye. It's such a contrast with so many things, and everything lines up perfectly. Very smart writing and musicianship in this to really complement everything, and know, you know, where to do the harsh vocals, where to do the clean vocals, and have everything sort of balance out with one another, and not really have things overtake one another and stuff like that. I really think We All Bleed and Goodbye sort of make sort of for like a tag team, a closing chapter on this album, with the way they're done and the way they complement each other heading out on the album. Awesome job with these two tracks, and I hope you guys check out Artisan's The Stain of Life. Really like what they did here. Awesome album. I really think this one's actually like up on my top 5 right now. Awesome job by these dudes. I like all the bass I got to hear. I know Mike Bear loves doing his bass, you know, old school dude, really grinding the bass out there, and I love that he does that, because you just don't hear too much, you know, deep technical bass that really gets to shine through and have it be like such a focal instrument. So he does a fantastic job there. Really like what these guys did. So I hope you guys go down in the description below and check out all their links for Artisan, as well as check out Mike Bear's other project here, Shadow Projector. Really love this doom metal project. I'll put my old video up here for you guys to check out as well. And if you know any bands similar to Artisan and Shadow Projector, let me know down in the comments below. I always love checking out this obscure stuff. Sometimes it's the best damn metal in the world. And I hope you guys stick around and check them out. And I'm rambling on again. So until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?